lovers of fine Australian television comedy, short films and the rest will be very likely aware of who this guy is, but maybe never seen him before. I'm luckily joined by the creator, the writer, the director, and quite possibly stuntman for what is about to appear on the ABC2, The Strange Calls. Hello, Daley Pearson.
Hello, how are you going?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for speaking with MolksTVTalk.
That's all right.
Now, Daley, the reason that we're speaking is because The Strange Calls, your new comedy series, starts on ABC2 on Tuesday week, the 16th of October.
Yeah.
But it then also kicks off a week early on ABC iView, so people can jump in and connect with that. I've been lucky enough to preview it, but how do you explain what The Strange Calls is?
It's a comedy, fingers crossed, and it's multi-platform, so that's a bit new. I'm talking about it as a concept rather than a narrative at the moment. So it's a multi-platform comedy. It's 6 episodes, half hours, which is more traditional, and then it has about 15 webisodes and a website driving it, and Twitter driving it, and Facebook driving it. So the idea is to tell the one story on multiple platforms, which did that with Hoodlum, who are the best of the best at that, and they're just based in Brisbane. They're an Emmy award-winning company, a multi-platform company, and they're doing original stuff now.
So you're a Brisbane local?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm Brisbane, and I grew up here, and then I grew up for a little bit in Coolah, which is where The Strange Calls is set. I forgot to mention what it's about. So it's about a young policeman who mishaps in the city. He gets demoted and he gets sent to Coolum Beach, which is a little coastal hamlet where he's put in charge of the job with the least amount of responsibility and accountability, which is answering the overnight calls in this small town, which are called the Strange Calls. No, he doesn't call them that. He calls them nuisance calls. But there's a character in town, a cleaner, he's really just a town security man who locks up the toilets, Barry Crocker, who calls them the Strange Calls. Yes. So the basic concept is emergency calls that are made overnight that turn out to be more real than he thought. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's what you can put in quotes. It's ridiculous.
And look, it's not. Well, I can assuage your fears. Yeah. Comedy check. It absolutely fills that box. Yeah. And it is. There are some hilarious moments in both the script and the way it's presented. You know, I mean, some ludicrous things around the possibility of a chicken man, people being mesmerised.
Ludicrous.
Oh,
pardon me.
It's great. No, that's the good thing, is because you go into it thinking, well, where's my mark on this comedy? How do I find the point of reality?
That's a really good point.
Meeting absurdity, and then you kind of get almost 3/4 of the way through the episode, all of the phone call stuff aside, you kind of go, oh, that's where it is.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. It did sneak up on. I think we were at first a little bit cautious about punching it out straight away with what you said, being sort of telling everyone where this is at. Yeah. But it does grow on you in that first episode, where eventually you say, is this a serious show, or is this what is this show? And eventually it does click. And I don't know, I think you get rewarded for that.
Yes.
I think, because it's not making the click for you. It's letting you find it in your own time. Yeah. Maybe they won't get it till the 6th episode. Then we'll be in trouble. But yeah, that's what I liked about it, that it didn't force comedy on you. It let you hopefully find it funny, discover it.
Now, it's very clear that you must have some pictures of actors in compromising positions, because you've got an amazing cast.
Yeah, I know. I know. I should have thought of that. Maybe that's what I'll do in future. But no, they were just really talented and people wanting to work on it, which was great. A bit of it came through. We did like a pilot in effect, which was like a 20-minute short. It was like a short film, a 20-minute short film, and so I shot that with some friends in Coolah, like in my parents' garage up there, which is the truth. It was in my parents' garage, and Barry and Toby and Nick.
This is Toby Truslove.
Toby Truslove, Barry Crocker, and Nick Simpson-Deeks. Yes. And they've all done amazing stuff, and they all agreed to be in this pilot thing, and then happily everyone at the ABC liked that enough, and Hoodlum enough, liked that group enough to keep them on for for the series. I don't think, and it was no question anyway. They were brilliant.
And that's all it takes, isn't it? Now you just got to film a pilot. Everyone loves it, and you've got
it's really easy.
Congratulations.
It's really easy. Anyone should do it. It's no, but it was. Yeah, I don't know how it happened, other than it just seemed to work. The right alignment of the stars. And everyone worked really well together. Barry and Toby, who were like, we always saw it as like a same-sex mother and son thrown into like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
So mother and son in the Twilight Zone was the way we sort of started thinking about it to begin with.
That's bang on. That really does encapsulate that relationship really well.
That's great. Well, that's what we were aiming for to begin with, and then we had a sort of like the X-Files, a monster of the week every week. And the first week is Nick Simpson Deeks, like you said, as a chicken man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's so good. They're all so good. Yeah, it's great.
Now, you mentioned it's based in Coolum. Under the shadow of Mount Coolum.
Yeah, based in Coolum.
Filmed around there? Where did we film?
Yeah, filmed half and half. It was filmed in a studio out at Sandgate, and we did a lot of the pre-production work and all that sort of at Hoodlum, which is just across in Milton.
Yeah.
So it was about, I don't think it was half and half. I think it was a little less. So all the exteriors were Coolum. Do I say that properly? I should just say that and not get into detail.
There was at least 3 or 4 that I saw that I know exactly where they are.
That's weird. We tried to choose enough key ones in each episode that you would say, okay, it is in Coolum.
I think the barbecues in scene 3 where they're
that was the first thing we ever shot.
That's Coolum without question.
Yeah, that was the first time we see Toby is the very first shot we ever did. And so that was it was suddenly when you looked at the schedule you went, should this be right? And then we did it anyway, and it worked. So yeah, about probably, I don't know, it was a lot in Coolum. We had a few days up there, but a lot in the studio out at Sandgate, and a few little drops and pieces around Sandgate as well. Just because there was a fishing co-op out there where that was our studio. That's the truth. It's been used a lot for some Queensland short films. It was great.
The fact that you've got, the acting fraternity that's involved in it, and let's add in people like Catherine Hicks.
Yeah, who's great. Catherine Hicks is really great. Yeah.
It's marvellous. I've been watching Lowdown of late, and I think the episode's just aired where, oh my goodness, I want to say, what's the girl that was in 20-something?
Jess Harris.
Jess Harris is in it as like this catering girl, the hot catering girl.
Yes.
And here's Kat.
Yes.
As the hot catering girl.
Yes.
It's like, holy goodness, I'm happy with this.
Yes. It was so fortunate. There was Catherine Hicks was great. I think she was doing Winners and Losers, and so was Nick. They were both doing it at the same time, and we managed to pull them out of that somehow to get into this. Yeah, and so they were great, and there's amazing people in it, like Patrick Bramall, isn't it? And he's the best. I think may steal the show.
He's gold, mate. There's Sergeant.
Yeah, I think he probably will steal the show.
There is a moment in, I want to say it's the 2nd episode. And I'm sorry if I'm just hanging on the first 3, that's all I've seen.
That's all right.
Where Gregor and Toby turn up.
That's the first episode.
At the Sergeant's house.
Yeah.
And they sort of come around the back, and it's typical high-set Queensland kind of house, stairs up the back. And there's Patrick as the Sergeant, standing out, surveying all that's in front of him, having a coffee in his jocks and socks.
I know, it was. There was a lot of times people said, "Is this?" Damon Harriman's also in it, and he's in episode 6. He's really good, but it was because of this. It was a bit of a crazy schedule where we had, I don't know what it was, like 2 or 3 days. It was like 2 or 3 days an episode, I think, and so he was only on set for like. It was like a day or something, and he said, "Am I?" Because I was telling him to go a bit big. Not really. He went big, and I went great. And then he said, "Am I in the same show as everyone? Is everyone doing this?" And we said, "Yeah." And then he went, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah, it's the same. It's the same show." And so that was when we sort of realised. I think it's not The Wire. It's definitely not The Wire.
No, it's a couple of steps back.
Yes, yeah.
Now Barry Crocker is, and I don't think I'm overstating this, he's an Australian acting, singing, comedy legend, really. Yeah. We need to put him on one of our, if he's not already, he's a national living treasure.
He is.
How does one get to work with the great Crocker? Is it as simple as, you know, I'll call your people, we'll do lunch, here's a script, have a great day?
It's a lot harder than that. Facebook was how I first contacted Barry.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's the truth. And I'm not sure if anyone will believe me, but the first time I contacted Barry...
Sudden rush of friending with Barry Crocker by aspiring filmmakers.
It was. Yeah, it will be. A lot of people will be. Well, he's maxed out his friends. I think he's got like 5,000. And so I just wanted him, and then I saw he was on Facebook, and I sent him an email, Facebook message, and he checked it. And so then I flew down to Sydney. This was before anyone had taken any interest in it. Then flew down to Sydney and spoke to him about it, and he sort of liked it. I think there was a lot of that. It was a lot of that with the script, because of the script and because of what it is. A lot of it's in the tone and execution. Yes. So a lot of it was I sort of like, I don't know, because it's not so much a joke a minute series. It's not so much. It's not 30 Rock. And so then we shot it, and then I think he liked it enough to come back and do the series. But he was the best thing in the world.
His delivery of Gregor, the local security guard, the night watchman around Coolum, is wonderfully on point and kind of out of character for what everyone would perceive Barry to be. And that's, I think, part of the joy of the series is that you've got Toby Truslove playing this great kind of straight man, but still gets his own gags.
Yeah, that was been tough for Toby, because he always had to play the straight guy but be funny as well. I think, but it's really fun watching Barry. He's really funny. I'm trying to think of, when you read his character, if you didn't get told, you could probably say, so he's 12, is he? And you say, no, he's 6, 70 or something. So yeah, he does come across as this 13-year-old kid. But yeah, I think Toby, he played that really well, being able to play opposite him.
And Gregor's fascination, the way that character is fleshed out, you know, the fact that he's into 90s television, he's into, what do you call them, board games.
Yeah, I think he's just me maybe as 12. He loves board games, and he loves Blossom, and he loves Jenga, and Stratego.
He's created his own board game.
He's created his own board game called Crumpet Quest.
Yes.
Which is really funny. Which is based on Hero Quest. I'm going to come off like an idiot laughing at my own things. But I find the idea of Barry Crocker inventing a board game called Crumpet Quest, which is it's like a fantasy role-play game where he plays a wizard. Really funny. I find that funny. I don't care what anyone says.
And all of those things are so absorbed into the character too, that they just flow out naturally. Anyone that can get Barry Crocker to swear and flip the bird as regularly as he does, has it down. That is just golden.
It was real. Barry sort of was very good at that. He knew when and when not to push the swear words or not. Because we weren't worried. We were like, really, some of the swearing's pretty bad at times, and it wasn't too bad. It just was very out of place coming from it. It was never derogatory or anything like that. But I think it worked really well.
Yes, contextually it was.
Well, I think Barry delivered it really well.
So you mentioned that this has been sold as not just a television series, but a really a multi-platform experience. And you mentioned the website, which is like thestrangeCalls.com.
It's www.thestrangeCalls.com.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's the idea, is that Barry, his character's name's Gregor, Barry Crocker, has created this website documenting the strange stuff. But it was always the idea from the start.
Microsoft front page too, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it was like the idea if Mulder started a website. But the idea was that, which I really loved, and hopefully we pulled it off, was that he does talk about paranormal stuff, but it does get sidetracked a bit, and he starts talking about his TV shows and restaurant reviews and just his personal life. Which I find really funny.
It's not just, I mean, it's a blog in essence, and written in that context of Gregor, this is my blog, welcome to that stuff. But there's all these other nuggets hidden around it too, and it's not just, well, here's the page I'm presented with. But you've got to be kind of aware you can go up in the page, down, there's stuff all around.
Yeah, the guys at Hoodlum did a pretty amazing job with that. It's I don't think that character could have created that website, but aesthetically it looks like him. It looks like a Goosebumps cover, which he loves.
And the fact that people can interact into that environment, that there's a phone number you can ring and leave a message.
Yeah, it's all pretty great stuff. So yeah, the idea is that everything is as sort of real as possible. That any way you want to step into or attack the narrative, that's the idea of it, was that you have this main base, but anyone can get into it anyhow. So if you just want to, if you hear the number or you see a vlog and you see this character's name or you see Cool and Police, there's a lot of entries into this one cool story, and that was our aim, that through Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, that you could just get a foot in however you wanted to. You didn't really have to start with that one, although we would love you to. You didn't have to do that. You could come at it anyway.
So how have you connected it, or have you on the Hoodlum team connected it then into the social media space, in places like Facebook and Twitter?
Yeah, well, they took the idea that that Facebook would break the fourth wall. So Facebook would be more just like a PR guy. So Facebook would tell you when it's on TV. Facebook would tell you when the iview's happening, what the cast are up to, all that sort of stuff. But Twitter, it would deal with it in as if the character is running this. So Twitter and the website are run for reals, I guess you'd say, that you'd have this character is running these sites.
Yes.
So it's part of the narrative. Whereas Facebook did step outside of it a little bit.
I've had some great conversations with Gregor on Twitter already. It's been
yeah, great.
It's very, very
That
bizarre.
is Barry Crocker.
That is very bizarre, but it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
So hang on, is Barry actually running the Twitter account?
No, yes, he is. No, he's not. I wish he was. No.
That would be outrageous.
The character is.
No,
I have to keep in that. The character, Gregor, is running it.
People believe anything. We could tell Superman's running it. That's kosher.
He is.
Wow, you heard it here first.
I know.
So in all of this, this is... I don't want to say stepping stone, because that sounds really kind of minuscule. So when this is your own 6-part television series.
Yeah.
This is no small device.
No, it's not. It's not. I try not to think about it, because it's starting in a week on... Is it October,
on iview on Tuesday.
On iview on October 9, Tuesday, and then on TV on the 16th? Oh, the 16th. Yes, I try not to think about it too much. I really like it, so hopefully people will like it as well.
I think that's pretty easy. Now, for those that are aware of some of your back catalogue, you're also the guy that co-created, directed, wrote Squid, both the short film and the movie.
Yeah, that's right. Squid is the short film that was made into a feature, and we still haven't released it yet. We haven't. According
to IMDb, you're releasing it in 2013.
Yeah, that's probably true. No, that is true, because what happened was we were just about to, and then this happened, and so it's just threw a big spanner in the works. Because we were just about to do a bit of a tour of it and do a sort of non-cinematic release. Yes. But this threw a big spanner, or a good spanner in the works. So yeah, and that was. It was just making stuff in our backyard. It was never thought to be. It was never made to be, Shaun of the Dead or a breakout hit. Not that it is, but it was just made to have fun, and that was with Josh Lawson and Ed Cavalier. Josh Lawson, who's just been named Hollywood's best newcomer.
Sexiest something. I'm sure he's in that list as well.
He's amazing.
He's smoking it up. Have you seen any of the...
He's really talented and he's really hardworking.
He's in with Don Cheadle?
Yeah, House of Lies.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I have seen that. And I love the other guy in it called Ben Schwartz.
Yes! That whole foursome, like the core four in House of Lies.
It's ridiculous.
Perfectly cast. Lawson plays that, the downbeat kind of the geeky one of the group, such that it is brilliantly. Yeah. He has a scene with Kat Deely in one of the early episodes of House of Lies. Yeah. That is perfect.
He's really good. And it sort of, and that thing says, what was it, Hollywood's best newcomer. But he's so hardworking. He's been doing it for 10 years.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it has newcomer up there. But he's not that that's a bad thing. It just shows how hardworking he is.
Well, and Hollywood can claim him as a newcomer. That's fine.
Exactly.
In an Australian context, we've had him for 10 years doing all sorts of great things.
I was so happy for him. He's really talented.
His stuff in Squid is excellent. The bits that I saw, both the short film and there's a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, there's a making of that we did. It was sort of a small. It was a bit like a baby step to Strange Calls, I guess, and done in a very
26 behind the scenes.
There was. That's 26. Far out. It was done in a very primitive way, but hopefully with Strange Calls it's done a bit better.
Oh, look, there's no question. Given that both the calibre of the people you're working with, the team at Hoodlum are incredible. They really do great work.
They're really amazing.
And to be a parochial Queenslander for a couple of seconds, we are so lucky that we have a wealth of talent that's available to us.
Yeah.
And then you have people like Hoodlum that fit into that. We go, here, Daley, connect with these guys.
Yeah.
And if this is a great story and a great idea, let's just turn it on its head and do it a little bit this way. And
yeah, they're great.
It's even more amazing.
It's just that I think that's working on a few projects now in Queensland that everyone's here to do stuff. It just needs a fire marshal or something to organise them. But that's not true, because everyone's doing great stuff anyway. Because Half Brick, have you heard of their Brisbane company that they did
Fruit Ninja, man.
Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride?
Yeah.
They're just 10 minutes over. Is it Fruit Ninja was the second highest selling?
Yeah, that's bought a couple of Ferraris already. Don't stress
but
on
that's the Angry Birds, and that's over the bridge near Grilled. In the valley.
That's good, isn't it? Just the fact that we've got these creative pockets, and we've heard enough of games companies growing and shrinking through the GFC and the pressures around that. The Half Brick are not only going as well as they are and have had the successes, but they're continuing to build on that and not just rest on where the Fruit Ninja guys. No. Where hey, here's this Jetpack.
And I do like Jetpack Joyride a little bit better.
So do my kids. Super addictive.
Yeah.
They're right into that.
There's people here, and they're really great people, like Hoodlum, and then it's I don't know why people sometimes I guess maybe I don't know why that sort of got that weird air of reputation of sort of backyard area.
I think it's
but that's also really good as well.
The country town thing, Brisbane's still considered a country town capital compared to Sydney and Melbourne, so we get away with a lot as Queenslanders, as Brisbaneites, and I think that's to our benefit creatively.
It definitely is, because that was a great thing about Strange Calls. The ABC we had them, the guys, Brett Slay and Debbie Lee, they're the producers there.
Yes.
And they were in the story room and all sorts of things, but it did feel like, not that I'd had any experience before, but a few others, like we had Lee McGrath, who was a story producer at Hoodlum, and he'd worked on The Bill and Home and Away, and
casually, just a couple of nothing shows.
Yeah, really big stuff, and he was sort of saying it was great. Debbie and Brett did seem to leave us to create, and he said he's not really used to that, and whether.
I think where we'll pick it up from.
I'll pick it up from where we were talking about Brisbane, the backyard area, versus the reality. Is that what we're talking about? There's people like Half Brick and Hoodlum here, who are Emmy winners, and Half Brick have created there's number two app. It's enough for them to make a lot of money. Yeah, and there's sort of two sides to it. There was a story producer at Hoodlum was Lee McGrath, and he did The Bill and Home and Away and whatnot. Really great shows, whatnot. Really great shows. And then we had Debbie Lee and Brett Slay. So that was sort of the guys who are my parents in essence running the show. And I guess what we're talking about Brisbane was that whether it was an ABC thing or a Brisbane thing, that you were left alone to create. And I don't know whether that was an ABC thing or a Brisbane thing, that they did help you and they hopped in the story room, but they did leave you alone to sort of create what you want to create.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword, because then you have to deliver a good show. Because if you don't, they'll say, well, never again.
Well, look, I'm very confident, just from the 3 episodes that I've seen already, Daley, that The Strange Calls is not only a good show, but a thoroughly entertaining one.
Oh, good.
It's a lot of fun, entirely distracting. I'll give you that straight away. It's shot beautifully.
The cinematographer, I have to say, was Robert Humphries, Bob Humphries, and he did. This is another crazy thing. He did Somersault.
Yes.
He just finished off a project with Ridley Scott.
As you do.
And he's done a lot of Queensland stuff, so he's really good at working on local productions like this.
Yeah.
He could be off overseas working with Ridley Scott again, but he really comes back there. And he was, I don't know what to say, it was the best thing that could have happened. There was a first AD on set, and Bob, who I wouldn't have made the show without. Not that I wouldn't have done it without them, it wouldn't have been made.
Did you find that was challenging as a younger man?
Yes.
Like let's be fair, I'm nearly 40, you'd be lucky to be 12.
19.
Yeah.
No, 19, yes.
What, are you 25-ish?
I'm 27, I think.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Working with a lot of people that are just older than you, full stop.
Yeah.
That's not to say that they're necessarily more experienced or anything.
Yeah, they were. They were. I was the least experienced on the set. But working with people older, it was good. I think it just came, this is a sort of personal thing, it just came, I come from a really big family that had lots of older brothers. Yeah. So I don't find it, it's more comfortable, I think. And I was bullied a lot in school, so I don't like peers. But no, it was just people like that were amazing to have. Bob, it looks amazing, doesn't it? It does.
Absolutely.
The aim was to make it look like a feature film every episode.
Yeah, look, and this might sound really wanky for a second, but the colour grading, the shots, the way they're put together, the depth in some of them is really, really sweet, and that's
all Bob.
And it's all Bob. Testament to not just Bob, I'll appreciate, but also to your set team, the guys that built and pressed that.
Of course. There was Matt Putland, who was a Queensland guy as well. It's really amazing, talented people working on it.
There's a lot of stuff in that caravan being going on. There is a lot of stuff.
But the biggest thing was that they did it on this, like, we didn't have much of a budget. Like, it's ABC2, and it was, it wasn't, these people, the guys worked, you know, with a tenth of what they normally had. And Bob, he was shooting, like, some days, like 13 minutes a day, which is, like, I think normal shows, what is that, normal drama, like 6 or 7?
It's not heaps, it's not 13.
I think he was shooting about double or a bit more every day, which on top of making it look brilliant.
Really, really good.
And that's all everyone else as well, that's the set designers had to pack up, and I lucked out being around them. I really did. I did luck out.
What's the opportunity, or what, apart from the fact that you're now plugging The Strange Calls to Death, because it's about to air on ABC2 and iview, what's in the offing? Is it get Squid out and then we've got another thing already lined up?
Yeah, well, we want to get Squid out, and I'm working on a few animations and a few other drama series at the moment, which is really exciting. I suddenly feel like there's a door open, which I've been knocking at forever, which is good because I've got a whole pocket of ideas. I think that's how it works, isn't it?
Apparently.
You sort of keep knocking, and then you keep filling up your pockets with ideas, and then when they eventually do open the door, you have all this stuff. It's like someone shaking a rug. You just got to hang on till the rug stops shaking.
Settles down. The tough part is that when you start showing them all those ideas, you want to make sure that they all know they're your ideas and not their ideas, and that you only give them just enough of the idea for them to go, yes, we want Daley to do it for us. And you go, here's the rest of the idea.
That's really true. It really is collaborating as well, because people like to be... Well, no, they did. It wasn't so much that. I think it's sort of the type how you want to create as well. Yes. Like, I remember reading a lot about Ricky Gervais saying, the office is my way or the highway. But I don't think that was true. I don't think he ever could have made that show if that was the truth. I think he's like that now. But he's... I think because during development and things, you did hear every now and again that what sort of trips people up is they say, no, that's the way. That's it.
No, that's right. This is my precious little baby.
Nothing comes of it because everyone says, well, why are we gonna? It's other people are gonna spend 2 years on it as well as you, so they want to feel. And everyone did. It wasn't like they just felt like they contributed. Everyone contributed. I think you just have to be a bit wary of, like, having so many, like, bleeding out a bit. Like you can just being aware that when the right suggestions and things like that, I think, was something. What am I trying to say? Managing the input, which is pretty much what a director's meant to do anyway. Take everyone's ideas and make them into one.
Well, it's a dark art in that scenario. Managing all those different personalities and creative ideas and that sort of stuff, along with the fact that you own this precious little idea and you want to make that grow and be bigger and better. Yeah, well, often the people will make it better. If you come back 3 days later without your pride, you'll say, oh, that was a better idea. There's always this sort of jokes and ideas that you do have to stick with and say no. I think it's just choosing your battles as well on things like this. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I was surprised that we had to come sort of deal with, which is like censorship. We had a dead chicken in an episode. And there was all this, Barry was terribly swearing and saying terrible stuff, and then it was like, well, no, the chicken is no. And it's just sort of getting used to stuff like that, which makes sense because it's not a nice thing to look at, a dead chicken on screen. But it was just interesting seeing
what balances out and what doesn't. But I think it's that weird myth of authors. I think it will just catch up on you because I don't know everything, and I think even people like Chris Lilly, they do. I'm sure. I don't know him, but they have to collaborate.
Yeah,
or it would never happen.
There was a great. I met Ricky Gervais on Twitter.
Yeah.
Somebody threw something at him, and I mean, while it may have been or may not have been Ricky's way or the highway on The Office, he certainly had a collaboration partner in Stephen Merchant that he worked very, very closely with. But somebody threw the question at him: how do you feel that the US version of The Office is way better than the UK version?
Yes.
And his response was rich.
Yes.
Because, in extending that, obviously he made an awful lot of money in licensing and remaining as executive producer on the series. And
that's exactly what...
spectacular idea.
That was probably the biggest learning curve, I think, of collaboration is better than the alternative. Yeah.
Well, we get to see the output coming this Tuesday, the 9th of October. On iview, people can jump on and watch the first episode of Strange Calls.
Yes, I really like the first episode. I hope people like it as well. It's really, I'm not talking for myself about the actors. I love watching them. So hopefully people think the same. If you don't say anything.
That's right. We'll brand you a troll and we'll get the Daily Telegraph onto you.
Yes. Just don't shut up about it. But I think I'm really excited to see what people think of Barry and Toby and Nick and Patrick and
Oh, look, they are gorgeous together, a lot of them.
I'm so happy you like it.
We then get to see it on broadcast television, ABC2 9:30 on Tuesday the 16th of October.
Yes.
So it's but minutes away, realistically speaking.
It is.
People will be able to tune in and enjoy that.
Ridiculous.
Daley, one last question before we wrap this up, and that is to say, look, Toby Truslove is a great actor.
Yes.
Was there any kind of special regime that you put him through so that he could fill out for the role of Fat Banks?
They're talking about that Barry calls Toby fat all throughout the series. That was written. I actually don't think I ever spoke to Toby about it. I think we may mention in passing, and he mentioned something like, it's funny, and then that was it. But I don't. A lot of people on set, there's a constant ongoing joke where Griggle says, you want to lose some weight. I think it might be time. Are you feeling all right about yourself? Is there anything you want to talk about? Always implying his weight issues. But I don't know, I think it comes from me. I'm sure it comes from me, just being really, really paranoid about it. But Toby, he was, I don't know what to say. Hopefully people, I know the set guys got sick of it. Another fat joke about Toby Truslove, because he's not really that fat.
He's not.
That's the thing.
That's exactly
that Barry, this character has this odd obsession that this guy is too overweight.
Well, that said, anybody standing next to Barry Crocker does look a little bit on the chubby side. He's quite slim.
He's not even overweight with the whole series. It's actually the most prominent arc in the series is Toby dealing with his weight. It's ridiculous.
Look, it's a great series. It's happening soon on iview and ABC2 and Twitter and Facebook and the web.
Yes.
Check out The Strange Calls. It's absolutely a great new series.
Thank you very much.
From an excellent talent in Daley Pearson. Thank you for speaking to MolksTVTalk.
Thank you so much.